VIP kid! Yay! That means we passed our interview, we passed our 1, 2, or maybe 3 mock classes, and we got offered a contract. That's amazing! That's a huge deal! Good job, bingo! Anyway, now that means it's time to make that money, right? Sorry, that's just my play money. I just had it out. Anyway, so when I got hired, I was so excited. I finally got all of my mock stuff squared away. I got offered the contract. I got into my teacher portal. And then I kind of got a little bit confused as to what to do, or when I could start teaching, or when I could book slots, or how this whole process would go. So let me tell you about my experience and give you just some general information to help you out. So first of all, number 1, you got to do all of these little checklist items, okay? It's just kind of the information that they need from you in order to get you started in their program, and get you set up with your taxes, get you set up with your bank info so that you can get direct deposit, all that good stuff. So number 1, and probably the most important to do right off the bat, depending on how you do it, sometimes they'll email you and ask for the documentation. Sometimes you can just go into the teacher portal. No matter how it is, make sure you get your background check in as soon as humanly possible, because that can take up to 2 weeks to submit and to get cleared, which can be a little bit nerve-wracking. And of course, I'm sure you guys have nothing crazy to hide, but you want to get that rolling first. Next, you want to add your bank info. I suggest calling your bank and double checking to see if they have an ACH number. This is a special kind of routing number. Sometimes it's the same as your bank's routing number, that Chinese banks can use to put money in your account without having to charge you extra stuff. I'm not sure how it works, but it is important if your bank has one that you know what it is. And it'll tell you a little bit more about that on the bank info page. For me, I use US Bank, and I believe that it is the same as your routing number on your check. But make sure that bank info is submitted so that you can get paid. Get your fake money. We'll get real money, but you know what I mean. Next one, sign your contracts. This is your contract, your teacher statements, your teacher practice agreement, your combined payment agreement. If you choose to do that, that is just saying that if you don't make $80 within a pay period, you're going to roll it into your next pay period, which I recommend, especially if you do incur a fee. You do incur a fee for your deposit. If that's the situation with your bank, then you're just going to want to wait till you have a little bit more to put in. So get those signed straight away. And the last thing, update your personal info. So I noticed when I had my personal info on there, it wasn't correct from what I had submitted in my application and in my interview. So just go in and double check that everything's right. You should be able to also edit your profile, add videos, add pictures, which I'm going to add in another video as to how to do that in a way that's effective and appealing to parents. So these are the first steps you have to do, okay? Super important. Make sure that you get these things accomplished right off the bat, okay? Now, if you're me and you were in my situation and you did all of those things straight away, because I'm always like, if there's a to-do for me, I want to do it as soon as humanly possible so that I can get going. I had all those things done and I'm like patiently waiting for my classes to open up or for spots to start filling or to see my teacher portal. So what I learned, and I talked to Fresh Desk, I also talked to some people on Reddit, I also talked to some people on Facebook. It can be different for everyone. They do not generally need your background check to be approved before you begin teaching. Sometimes you'll get a preliminary clearance and you'll be able to begin teaching. Mine wasn't approved for 2 weeks, and I started teaching 72 hours after I applied. So once I did my 2 mock classes and got all my paperwork in, it still took, well, that might be an exaggeration. Like, it still probably took 3, maybe 4 days, and then all of a sudden I went in and my teacher portal was open. So I'd say as soon as all of this stuff is in, give it 2 days, okay? That's what I've seen generally from other people who have had the same issue where they're like, okay, everything's in, everything's signed, when can I teach? 2 days after all of that is in. If it's not rolling yet, send in a ticket to Fresh Desk, and I'll link that below in case you don't know how to access Fresh Desk, to make sure that you can start teaching, and also, you know, check your certifications and stuff like that, because those are all super important things to know, especially as you're just starting out. Once your teacher portal is opened, you are going to see all different time slots. You will see time slots that are light orange, some that are dark orangish and red, and some that are white. White means that they're not going to be booked very frequently, if at all. It means that maybe that will be your pre-VIP kids who are not yet attending regular school, so they can take classes outside of normal school hours. That's fine to open those up too. You do want to open as many of the orange and reddish slots as you possibly can, especially just starting out, because that's going to help you get experience. It's going to help you get feedback from parents, which can really bolster your profile. It will help you get more effective and interesting teacher tags from parents, and it'll get you more experience. And that's the type of thing that our clients really want when they're selecting a teacher. So go into that little grid, and you want to open these little slots, and it'll show you as soon as it's open, and then it'll put a little checkbox next to it. If you want to have it be bookable within 24 hours, I do that all the time, especially as I was starting out. I would check the 24-hour checkbox from Mountain Standard Time from 5 to 7 before I would go to work. And I would just expect to wake up every day at 4:30 and check to see if I had been booked. 99 times out of 100, I had been booked, which was great because I got the extra $2 24-hour incentive for accepting a booking within 24 hours. And it also, like I said, helped me grow my business, helped me grow my client base when I was earlier on in my career. So open up as many slots as you can feasibly in those first couple of weeks. Parents can book 2 weeks at a time, so you want to make sure that at the very latest, I always do 4 to 6 weeks in advance, and then I modify it as I go, but make sure at the very latest by like Saturday night, I would say, for the following couple of weeks, that you have everything opened and the way that you want it to look. Aside from that, be patient. For me, I got a lot of trials in the very beginning, almost exclusively trials. So I'm like the master at trials 2.1 and 2.4 and 3.1 because that's all I did. And I got a ton of them. I only started getting master course or major course students a few weeks in. So make sure that you're ready for those trial courses and that you're just raring to go. Make sure you've got your props, you've got everything you need. I can link below to the different slides that you might be using, or rather I can show you how to get there through VIPKid to respect VIPKid's privacy, so that you can be really prepared for those classes. Again, that part is different for everyone. I know people who didn't get booked for quite some time. I know people who got booked straight away, but only a few major courses per week. I got filled out with only trials. Like I was booked in every slot for trials for my first week. And I think a big part of that is that my profile, my pictures, and my intro video were really carefully done, and I'll make a whole other little thing about that, and I think that might have helped a lot with me also getting more major course bookings. I'm going to keep calling it master course, major course bookings, and yeah, that's my experience. It can be different for everybody, but as I said, very important, and I see questions about it all the time, wait 2 days after all of this stuff is submitted to see if your teacher portal is open and if you can open up those slots, okay? Then just check very frequently. Make sure on your phone, if you have the VIPKid app, that you make sure your notifications are on so that you can see your bookings, especially when they're short notice. And check it frequently. Don't let it just sit there, because sometimes you'll get a booking and for whatever reason it doesn't ping you and you have to be in the classroom in 15 minutes if you have that checked. So just get in the habit of checking that often. But that's what you do when you've been hired by VIPKid. Congratulations again, and good luck on your VIPKid journey. If you have any questions about anything I've said or anything you wanted me to say that I didn't get to cover here, go ahead and email me below at VIPKidEmilyWLC@gmail.com. My referring teacher code is down there as well. If you don't have a referring teacher, I'd be more than happy to help you out with that and get you set up for whatever you need with VIPKid. But yeah, good luck! Yay, you're with us now!